Okay, Checkpoint Charlie, here we go. Michael Wickerson at Wickerson Studios. I am bringing together two of my favorites, and one is Daniel Christev and his incredible mathematical scripts, which inspired me 2 years ago to start with Grasshopper, and Junichiro Horikawa's ability to put Rhino inside Unity. Pretty amazing stuff. So, script's a little small over here. I'll start with it. What you have was three different mathematical topographical landscape. Excuse me. So what we have here is going back to what I've done is I'm working with two sliders. That's it. One is the let me jump in here for a second. Oh, lost that. Put in the bifocals. One is the Unity sliders, which are created and scripted and given to me by Junichiro Horikawa. And then what I did was I custom changed to walk through the entire format to rebuild those into toggles, but I'm not using them for this one. And I'm taking all my number inputs that are going into this original script in Daniel Christev's file. Really beautiful mathematical topographical studies with tons of different. Actually, he's only using one formula right here. He had about three going, but I'm using three different MD sliders, which he recommends, and you can go to mass addition and mass multiplication if you want to plug that in and see how this has an effect on it. My gene pool for colors is pretty small because it's just three little tiny scapes. And of course, you can't see it in the Rhino window. You got to go see it Rhino in Grasshopper in Unity. So there's so many things you can do with this. I haven't even gotten into it, but let's get into the sliders that aren't in Grasshopper and actually are cranked out right into Unity. And I don't have them named, but the first ones are pretty sweet. So there you go. You're playing with the topographical heights of these maps, and you've got an illusion of different hill types, purple, green, and yellow. Just fantastic. Let's jump over here and have a little fun with the gene pool and just give it a little jazz and see what happens. There we go. We just made it as nice. Wow, they're a little too soft for me. There's a nice eerie color. Let's go into here. There we go. Pretty fuchsia, putrid, and it's like orange sherbet ice creams. But over here, I've got another number slider to flatten it totally down to nothing, to one plane. So you play off of that height, and you're really just playing with the maths. Another one just to jostle and cook it up and go in different directions. But if you're looking at making some gaming landscapes, this could be a pretty fun system for doing that. Using Grasshopper as the computational studies to get there. Not sure what's going to happen. Let's try and get this one down again and kind of flat. I've got it scaled so small, but it's still taking up the full screen. I'd have to step away. Let me see if I can bring that number slider down a little bit to drop it. A little bit it jumps above the screen, which isn't so great. Let's try and bring that one down to a subtlety right there, and let's see what happens when we start playing with the maths with the back into Grasshopper. So you've got all these nice little subtle, and you see it really undulating and doing some jazz up there. I'm not sure what will happen if I take the partial results and crank them into the, let's see, where's the function? Yeah, probably want to bring that into some mass multiplication here. See what that does to it. Could take a second, could crash my program if I don't remember correctly. Looks like I haven't flattened it. Oh, the results. I shouldn't have taken the partial results. Let's go back a second. It took a little bit to run. Let's take the full results and see what happens. Nope, kind of kills it. Let's take the full results of the math addition. There we go. Get a bumpiness, but it's only overriding a single one of them. So I think I'm much more excited about all three coming through. I could put a toggle on here and play with these, but I could also change it up by playing with these multiplication factors, which are just playing with the numbers to undulate. So that's another way to control it. And of course, those number sliders are the ones that are affected here, so there's no point doing that. What happens when I get into the tools that I don't have any control over? Let's try this one. And there we go. You still have the ability to go into your graph mapper and have some Grasshopper control over what you want. I'm going to have to figure out how to C-script a graph mapper. Good luck. Or an MD slider, I should say. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then the jazz, we can reset it. I think this one definitely has a little more excitement if I crank that one up. This one's up. I think all these have dropped down too low. And there's your hills and your bumps. I'm looking at the top screen as I'd have to get above it to really enjoy that. So playing off the camera angle again. And I'm still learning Unity as I do this. But there you go. A little homage to Daniel Christev, also to Junichiro Horikawa. And let's take this and go into a preset and make it a little more black and white. There you go. A little winter scene. And maybe set a default to a brownish, yeah, kind of sandy, if that's what you want. And we'll try one other one with the basic greens and yellows, which is okay. And that's it. There you go. You get total control over scripting and changing your landscape in a gaming module, Unity. Pretty fun. Thanks for watching. 5 minutes.